Alright, let's have another look here with another round of Daily Dose. Philip Steiger here at thebest3d.com, of course, with Project Dog Waffle. And what I'd like to do here today is just explore briefly these three icons in the top right. The first one is, of course, showing you the brush image, as you can tell from the tooltip here. You just click a little bit here or there, or if you drag around, it's basically showing you what image you have in the brush. And there can be different types of brushes. If you look at the settings here, you have brush settings. And up here you have an anti-aliased algorithmic pen. And so if you choose that, you're painting with that. If you're going here, you use the internal brush, and that's a collection of different brush shapes, and you can see them right here. When you click on shapes, all sorts of different brushes, from leaves to flowers and many other shapes. And these are small images though, these are small shapes, and there are a lot of different choices to grab from here, some of them donated by other wafflers, but nonetheless somewhat limited in size. So if you need something bigger, let's say you want a whole collection of these actually to be loaded into a single new brush image, you can do that with the custom brush pickup tool, like this one here. And as you load that, you'll notice that's now what's showing in here. So that is the image representing what's in your brush, in your custom brush in this case. And therefore, as you're painting with this, it's going to go all over the screen. You can drag, you can paint, you can do all sorts of things, and you can still use the different smearing modes and other things that the brush offers. For instance, you can set some bleeding, or you could go and change the mode to something like a rub through or a smear paint. And so there's all sorts of other effects you can create other than just stamping it down like this. Alright, so that's the brush, and this icon shows you what's in the brush. Keep that in mind, we'll be using that a lot. Another image you have here is the paper texture. Now when you click it, you'll see a little orange corner here, a triangle in the corner, indicating that the paper texture is enabled. So I'm gonna go back to another type of brush, perhaps this one here, and when I enable the brush, the paper, it may look a little bit different, but that really depends on how strong a paper presence you have. So you want to make sure that you set these, and that you actually have a paper texture, and that you also use a brush that can use it. I don't know, for instance, let's go with the default airbrush, something like this here. Right, and so when you enable, you'll see this, perhaps a bright color. There you go. Now you see the paper texture showing through that. Right, let's say we pick up the green color, and there it is, and paint. Well, it's a little bit saturated, a little bit too strong here, so perhaps we want to go lighter. There you go. And if you disable it, click on the paper texture, it will not show the paper texture through it. Now the paper texture can be many different things. It could be one of those presets. It could be some dinosaur skin. So if you enable it, and let's say we go with, I don't know, like an orange color, you see this paper texture there as well. It could be dinosaur skin, it could be stucco, it could be canvas. A variety of different sizes and intensities available. But you can also load your own image, bitmap files, or you can also say whatever you have currently in your custom brush, let's use that brush as the new pattern, the new texture, to be shown there as well. So I don't know if we still have that prior one. Let's use that brush. And no, it's doing a different one. Anyway, so that's this one, and then what we also have is a third one over here, and that icon represents the image, and actually not just one image, it's the blending of two images. You can also right click that one, and what you can see is basically enabling the mixing with the swap buffer. So what the swap buffer is essentially something, you can see that in the image menu. I'm not capturing it here in this case, so you won't see it, but in the image menu you can swap back and forth. In fact, there's a shortcut, a keyboard shortcut for that. If you look at if you use the key J for jumping back and forth, you can do that right there. So let's say you use that to paint something like this in one image buffer, and then you use this to go back to the original. And in fact, perhaps what we'll do is we'll go and render something in there that's some sort of an image, like I don't know, like a sky image again. And there you go, we put that in, and then we'll go to, I don't know, let's put some sort of a jump with the shortcut J and use a filter I'm doing this off screen, but you'll probably get to this really quickly as you play with that yourself. So I'm going to go and render some sort of a dread plating. Let's see, bumpy something, plasma noise. Let's use the plasma noise. All right, so the plasma noise is one of those filters that we can use for many different stuff, many different things. I'm going to go with one of the colored modes, and then just at that point jump back to the image of the sky. And now I'm going to use this blending mode. So now you actually see both of them at the same time. So there's the main buffer and with the sky, and there is the swap buffer. That's this one here with the background image. When you blend them, you have a variety of ways by which you can blend them. Okay, so blending modes, lots of different choices. And you can say, you know, show me the pixel that's less than the other one, every pixel for pixel. So it's doing some funky stuff there. Or you could say, let's do a subtractive, subtract one from the other. Or you could say, do the around gray. Or, you know, there's tons of different effects. And of course, some of them are easy to guess as to what they mean, and others are a little bit more sophisticated. Like for instance, here's the vivid light. I have no idea what that does, but it looks colorful. And let's see, there's an around gray, screen, divide, multiply, hue, saturation, value. Let's do one more here. Let's do the lighten. Alright, so one image is used to lighten the other. And if you jump between the two, you may not notice a difference at this point, because the two images are basically combined together in a very switchable way. It doesn't matter which one is on top of the other. They influence each other the same way, and that's not always the case, because you can have certain modes of these layer blendings where one is subtracted from the other, for instance, right? So if you, or divided, if you do a subtractive mode, you would expect, as you hit the J for jumping between the two buffers, you switch one to the other, and then the prior is being subtracted because of the blending mode being subtract right now. So let's say now we want to also finalize this, so merge this with the swap, and you may remember what we learned earlier, the interactive undo. We can probably expect that to do something as well, right? So here's before the blending, and then here's after the blending with the sky in there, and we can go anywhere in between. That's the interactive or the fade last action. And that sums it up for this quick intro on those three icons. I'm Philip Steiger with Project Dogwaffle at thebest3d.com using PD Howler. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon again.